Good afternoon, sir. So I'm from a vegetarian family, but I own a pet dog, obviously. So we eat vegetarian food, but we are feeding our dog like pedigree in the form of pedigree and gravies. So he is eating meat. But what can I do instead? But if I'm a vegetarian and I don't want to like promote animal cruelty and all, so how can I like feed my dog in vegetarian things instead of?
I'll definitely answer your question, but before I do that, I want to make one statement. That is, if you're a vegetarian who first does not want to contribute to animal cruelty, please be a vegan. It'll be my first statement to you. You have to understand that the dairy industry is just as bad, if not worse, than the meat industry, where the female reproductive cycle is constantly exploited, the organism is abused, the animals are abused terribly there and finally killed. It is no different. So if you first, my message here, and I give lectures obviously, it's a fair question what you asked, but my message first of all is for fellow humans, right? Before we focus on making sure we do not commit in animal cruelty to feed our fellow pet animals, let's first make sure that we ourselves as humans do not take part in the cruelty. The first thing I'll ask you is please consider being a vegan and leaving out dairy and all other animal products from your life. To answer your question, you see, a dog is an omnivorous animal which has evolved with us for the past 70,000 to 90,000 years. And in this time of evolution, they have eaten human food and kind of changed the digestive system to a certain degree where they can also eat and absorb our food as well to a certain degree. Of course, they are primarily biologically carnivorous creatures, but they too can eat a well-planned, nutritious, plant-based diet and do extremely well. If you have a cat, I have no answer for you because cats are 100% carnivores. I have no answer for that. For a dog, 100% the answer is slowly move your dog towards a plant-based diet, meaning that do you right now feed them fresh meat or do you feed them these kind of like a branded dog food? What do you feed them?
Like pedigree from that.
Branded dog food, okay. So when you're feeding that right now, what you can do is you can also search online on Amazon or Flipkart or any of these online websites where you can search for vegan dog food or even vegetarian dog food. And what you'll find is search for the vegetarian dog food and you can read the ingredients and make sure there is no egg or milk in it.
But it could be a processed food, no? But that is not good and healthy for my dog. And my veterinarian obviously refused me, like, do not feed these kind of things to your dog. Just he asked me to feed him like raw meat and like that things.
So, of course, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not a specialist. So obviously, your vet would know more than me. I'm not going to say I know more. But there are also veterinarians on this side of the fence also who are trained vets who say the word is a well-planned plant-based diet can work in favor of dogs. There are many dogs right now who do eat plant-based food. And also when you make this statement that processed food is bad, I just have to be categorically honest and say that that is simply a false statement, be it for humans or animals. Just because something is natural does not make it better. Just because something is processed does not make it worse. The question is, what is the process? What has been processed here to make it bad is the question, and we go in that scenario, that's a different story altogether. So my point is that there is, right now you're saying you're feeding your dog commercial dog food, right? There is commercial vegan dog food. You can try switching to that. Your dog will not immediately eat, by the way, he or she, who is a male or female. What's your dog?
Male.
Male. He is not going to immediately eat what you give him new. You have to first heap most of his bowl of his old food, little bit the new one, and slowly after a few days change more. Only then he will slowly adapt. Because if you put all new food, he is not going to eat at all by any stretch. So you can slowly try to train and just make switches. So I will ask you to go online and do some research. Also, you can go online and just type vegan veterinarians, vegan dog food, vegan pets. You can do a whole host of research online. There is a lot of answers for the question you asked. I am not a specialist on this subject because, as I told you, my lecture is for humans. It's not, and again, I told you before, my main request to you would be before even focusing on your dog, please focus on yourself first. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Okay, one more question.
Sure.
Like, pardon me if I'm wrong, but like you are suggesting us to like leave milk products, dairy products, and all. But I think like during the urbanization, we have left in every houses before, like hundreds of years from now, many houses have a pet like cows, and they are like putting them as their pets, and you know they like all उनको pet करते हैं, अच्छे से उनको help करते हैं, फिर उनकी like they take their milk, and you know it's like symbiotic relationship we can say. But during the urbanization, we are leaving the cows like straying. You can see like many of the cows lying on the footpaths, and they do not have even a home, or who will going to feed them? Like if we are not like having, we can also have like instead of straying them as like we don't like leaving them, we don't want to eat milk products, we don't have to consume dairy products. Don't you think the mess will be more
Okay, good
cruel.
question. So the mess would be less. In fact, there wouldn't be a mess at all. And let me explain to you with a proper example. Imagine right now if in this room there's a tap that's open and water is falling on the ground and flooding everywhere. Okay. The first step everyone will say is there's water, it's a mess, there's water everywhere. Let's take a mop and let's start mopping the floor. We are not turning the tap off, mind you, we're only mopping the floor. We're getting a bigger bucket, pouring the water into that and trying, but this water keeps on coming. Then we're asking what can we do? Then we're saying take a bigger mop, bigger bucket. Solution is to turn the tap off.
But it's a selfish world. We can't like in a day snap, or we cannot change the world in a snap of 1 or 2 days. But we can find them bigger solutions in a like
No, but my
different
question
modes.
to you is, when the tap is open, would you search for a bigger bucket each time, or would you close the tap?
I'll close the tap.
Close the tap. Right now, you are saying there are animals already on the streets. If we become vegan, there will be more animals in the street. So I'll explain to you why it's the exact opposite. Right now, there are so many animals existing because we humans breed them into existence. Understand that no cow or pig or chicken, even chickens right now, are not naturally allowed to mate in these farms. They are all segregated and kept based on gender. And then when we want them to give birth, because understand that each animal born has a barcode and tag put on it, it is money, right? So we only make sure, okay, today I want another 10 chickens to be born. So I will now make 10 chickens give birth. That's how we control the reproductive cycle.
But we can do it to make in a natural process or natural
Let me
way.
finish. What I'm saying is, so right now, the meat, dairy and egg industry forcefully make animals pregnant to bring more animals because we need more animals to meet the demand, right? These animals have no space, they're being dumped right now. If we close the tap, which means we ended breeding, there will no longer be any new animals to come onto the streets, and which ones are there here right now, the remaining ones, we can take them and put them in a shelter. But how can we talk about taking and putting them in a shelter if we refuse to acknowledge the fact that the tap is open? Tap is open is equal to the fact that breeding is constantly happening. So as long as saying that we have to find a solution to this without saying you first want to end breeding is like saying get a bigger bucket and mop instead of closing the tap. You have to first close the solution and then see, okay, mess is here, now what can we do? But if you're just trying to find a solution for this, while you're doing that, more is going to just keep coming and coming and coming. And that breeding is happening because people consume meat, dairy, eggs and honey. If more people are vegan, less breeding would happen, less animals would be born into the world to suffer. Do you get the point I'm trying to make? The system, how it works. Now, your statement you made was, you said, but why can't we find a way, a middle ground? What is that you said right now? Something...
Sorry?
You made a statement right now in between. You said like, why can't we do it in a way where it is different? What did you say exactly?
I was thinking like we can like do in a like proper like in a good way so that we can keep animals and we can like have a symbiotic relationships with for like we can also, if we are giving a home to a cow and we are getting milk, so it's like she's also getting care now. So I was talking
there's
about
a point with that. What I'd argue is that we have to, first of all, we think that we are being helpful to them, and therefore now since I'm being helpful to them, I have the right to use her body for whatever I want. That is the point you're making.
Not exactly.
Then
but,
without using her body, how do you get milk though?
But yes.
My point is, does it, if we are supposed, the word you used was, why can't we do it in a better way, a good way? But does good equal to me now, say there's a child here, okay, who is orphaned on the streets. I can take him or her home, and I'm saying I'm putting you under a roof right now. Makes me a good person. Now, wash my dishes, do my clothes, make me food. Why? It's a symbiotic relationship. Is it symbiotic or is it parasitic?
No, it's
parasitic. Understand that, again, what's happened is that the way we view animals is that we view them as so low. This is not your fault, or I'm not trying to by any means blame you, don't take it that way. I'm just saying that this is what society has taught us. Cow means she exists for milk. No. Cow exists on earth just like how any other living organism exists on earth. They just exist, not for us humans. We cannot say we are doing some favor for them and therefore now we have control over their body. That is sick and wrong. So I want to state that there is no right way to do the wrong thing. What I'm saying might sound crazy to you. Okay, you might think this guy is crazy, no one's ever going to listen to him. And okay, fine, you're free to have the opinion, anyone can have that opinion. But all I'm asking is what I'm saying logically incorrect or correct? That's all I want to know.
Logically correct.
Correct only. And I understand society make time to understand, but we can be a part of the side of justice by first choosing to change ourselves, like your sir asked. We can change ourselves first, then we can help educate other people who are also open-minded. I understand it's not easy. It's going to take a long time. But let's work towards it, because right now you saw the video. You saw it or you closed your eyes in the video?
Yes, sir.
It's horrible. It's absolutely unbelievable, and it's happening right now as we're speaking. We have to make this stop. We have to end this violence for animals, and the only way is by us choosing to be vegan and helping make the society also a vegan society. That's my answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your question.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.